Mm, Constitution, Part 8, Federal Legislation, 100, Dafa, Provision relating to vote of confidence and motion of no confidence. The Prime Minister may, whenever he or she consider necessary or appropriate to show that he or she has confidence from the House of Representatives, table a motion in the House of Representatives for the vote of confidence. 2. In case the political party which the Prime Minister represents is divided, or a political party in coalition government withdraws its support, the Prime Minister shall table a motion in the House of Representatives for a vote of confidence within 30 days. 3. In case a motion tabled pursuant to clauses 1 and 2 is not adopted by a majority of the total number of the then members of the House of Representatives, the Prime Minister shall be relieved of his or her office. 4. One-fourth of the total number of the then member of the House of Representatives may table a motion of no confidence in writing that the House has no confidence in the Prime Minister, provided that a motion of no confidence shall not be tabled until the first 2 years after the appointment of the Prime Minister and until another 1 year after the date of failure of the motion of no confidence once tabled. 5. A motion of no confidence to be tabled pursuant to clause 4 shall also mention the name of a member proposed for the Prime Minister. 6. In case a motion of no confidence tabled pursuant to clause 4 is adopted by a majority of the total number of the then members of House of Representatives, the Prime Minister shall be relieved of his or her office. 7. In case the office of Prime Minister falls vacant because of the adoption of a motion of no confidence pursuant to clause 6, the President shall, pursuant to Article 76, appoint as the Prime Minister the member of the House of Representatives proposed pursuant to clause 5. Section 101, Dafa 101, Impeachment. Impeachment. 1. One-fourth of the total number of the then member of the House of Representatives may move a motion of impeachment against the President or Vice President on the ground of serious violation of this Constitution and law. In case the motion is adopted by at least two-thirds majority of the total number of the then members of both houses of the federal parliament, he or she shall be relieved of his or her office. 2. One-fourth of the total number of the then member of the House of Representatives may move a motion of impeachment against the Chief Justice of Nepal or a Justice of Supreme Court, member of the Judicial Council, chief or official of a constitutional body on the ground of his or her failure to fulfill his or her duties of the office because of serious violation of this constitution and law, incompetence or misconduct or failure to discharge the duties of the office honestly or serious violations of the code of conduct. In case the motion is adopted by at least two-third majority of the total number of the members of the House of Representatives, the concerned person shall be relieved of his or her office. 3. There shall be an impeachment recommendation committee in the House of Representatives for the purpose of making recommendation after inquiring into whether or not there exist ground and reason for moving a motion of impeachment against any person referred to in clause 2. For the committee referred to in clause 3 shall consist of 11 members of the House of Representatives. 5. In case at least 3 members of the House of Representatives certify and submit that the received information, notice or complaint is admissible, on the ground of serious violation of the constitution or incompetence or misconduct or failure to discharge the duties of office honestly or serious violation of the code of conduct by the person relieving of office or impeachment pursuant to clause 2 and the committee referred to in clause 3 makes recommendation of inquiring into such complaint in accordance with federal law to the House of Representatives for impeachment proceedings. A motion of impeachment may be moved pursuant to clause 2. 6. After the commencement of impeachment proceedings pursuant to clause 2, the Chief Justice of Nepal or the Justice of Supreme Court, the member of the Judicial Council, the chief or official of the constitutional body shall not be allowed to discharge the duties of his or her office pending the settlement of such proceedings. 7. A person who is charged with impeachment pursuant to clause 1 or 2 shall be provided with a reasonable opportunity to defend himself or herself. 8. Nothing shall bar the taking of action under the federal law in relation to the offence if any committee if any committed while in office by the president or vice president, the chief justice of Nepal or a justice of Supreme Court of Nepal, the member of the judicial council, the chief or official of a constitutional body which relieved of office upon the adoption of a motion of impeachment under this article. 9. A person who is relieved of the office on the adoption of a motion of impeachment pursuant to clause 1 or 2 shall not be entitled to obtain any facility occurring from such office and to be appointed or nominated to any public office in the future. 10. Other matters relating to impeachment shall be as provided for in the federal law. Section 102. Penalty for unauthorized presence or voting. Penalty for unauthorized presence or voting in case a person who has not taken oath pursuant to Article 88 or who is not a member of the federal parliament is present or cast vote in the capacity of a member in a meeting of either house of the federal parliament or of its committee, the person shall, by order of the person presiding over the meeting, to fine with a sum of 5,000 rupees for each instance of such presence or voting, and such fine shall be recovered as a government due. Dafa 103 Privilege 1. There shall be full freedom of speech in both houses of the federal parliament and no member shall be arrested, detained or prosecuted in any court for anything expressed or any vote cast by him or her in the house. 2. Each house of the federal parliament shall subject to this constitution have full power to regulate and decide its internal business, and the concerned house shall have the exclusive right to decide whether or not any of its proceedings is regular or irregular. No question shall be raised in any court in this regard. 3. No comment shall be made about good faith concerning any proceedings of any house of the federal parliament, and no publication and broadcasting of any type shall be made about anything said by any member intentionally distorting or misinterpreting the meaning of the speech. For the provision of clauses 1 and 3 shall apply also to persons other than the member of the federal parliament who are entitled to participate in the meeting of the house. 5. No proceedings shall be entitled in any court against any person in respect of the publication under the authority granted by any house of the federal parliament of any document, report, vote or proceedings. Explanation: for the purpose of this clause and clauses 1, 2, 3 and 4, house means the House of Representatives or the National Assembly, and includes a joint sitting or joint committee of the federal parliament. 6. No member of the federal parliament shall be arrested during the period from the issuance of a notice summoning the session to its prorogation, provided that nothing in this clause shall be deemed to prevent the arrest under the federal law of any member on a criminal charge. In case any member is so arrested, the authority making such arrest shall forthwith give information thereof to the person presiding over the concerned house. 7. Any breach of the privilege shall be deemed to constitute the contempt of the federal parliament, and the concerned house shall have the exclusive right to decide whether or not any privilege has been breached. 8. In case any person is in contempt of any house, the person presiding over the concerned house may, after a decision by the house to that effect, admonish one or impose a sentence of imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 months, or of a fine not exceeding 10,000 rupees on such person, and such fine shall be recovered as a government due. Provide that in case such person apologize to the satisfaction of the concerned house, the house may pardon, remit, or commute the sentence imposed on him or her. 9. Other matters relating to the privilege of the federal parliament shall be as provided for in the federal law. Dafa 104. Sentence. Dafa 104. Procedures relating to conduct of business. 1. Each house of the federal parliament shall frame rules to conduct its business, maintain order during its meeting, and regulate the constitution, functions, and procedures of the committee and procedures of the house or its committee. Until such rules are framed, the federal parliament shall regulate its procedures on its own. 2. The conduct of business of the joint sitting of the federal parliament and constitution and proceedings of the joint committee of the federal parliament shall be regulated by the rules of procedures approved by the joint sitting of both house of the federal parliament. 105. Section 105. Restriction or discussion. No discussion shall be held in either house of the federal parliament on any matter that may cause adverse effect on the dispensation of the justice in case which are sub judice in any court of Nepal, and in any judicial act carried out by judges in the course of performance of their duties, provided that nothing in this article shall be deemed to bar the expression of opinion about the conduct of a judge during deliberation held on a motion of impeachment. Uh, Section 106, the Dafa Secretary General and Secretary of Federal Parliament. 1. The President shall appoint the Secretary General of the House of Representatives on recommendation of both the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Chairperson of the National Assembly. The Secretary of the House of Representatives on recommendation of the Speaker, and the Secretary of National Assembly on recommendation of the Chairperson. 2. The qualification, function, duties, powers, and other conditions of service of the Secretary General of the Federal Parliament, Secretary of the House of Representatives, and Secretary of the National Assembly shall be as provided for in the federal law. On this 7th section, Secretariat of Federal Parliament. There shall be a secretariat for conducting and managing the business of the Federal Parliament. The establishment of such secretariat and other matters related thereto shall be as provided for in the federal law. Section 108. Remuneration. The remuneration and facilities of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Chairperson and the Vice Chairperson of the National Assembly, Chairperson of the committee, and member of the federal parliament shall be as provided for in the federal law, and shall be as specified by the government of Nepal until such law is made. Thank you. God bless you all. मेरे channel subscribe